Welcome to Live Life Fearlessly, the podcast where we embrace courage, authenticity, and the power to transform your life. I'm Amanda Gervasi, a life, leadership, career, and relationship coach, here to help you break through barriers and create a life you love. Let's dive in and live fearlessly. Welcome back to Live Life Fearlessly, the podcast where we celebrate bold moves, fearless decisions, and the incredible stories of people chasing their dreams. I'm your host, Amanda Gervasi, and today we're diving into the world of makeup, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Joining us is Laura Gallo, makeup artist and the founder of Makeup Addict, a clean Canadian makeup brand that has been turning heads and inspiring beauty lovers everywhere. She's a makeup mogul, a creative visionary, and a fearless entrepreneur. So let's give a warm welcome to Laura. So hello, and thank you for joining me today. Now, Laura and I have known each other for quite some time, so I'm really happy to have her as my first guest on my podcast. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Thank you. Um, So, like I said, I've known her for a while. Her makeup is fantastic. She is a fantastic makeup artist. She's done makeup several times and love it. But let's really jump right into things, if you don't mind. All right. So let's really start at the beginning. Tell us what really inspired you to create Makeup Addict. Was there a defining moment when you knew this was really the path for you?
I've been in the makeup industry for, oh my gosh, we're going about 28 years now. So I've tried it all. I've had it all sent to me. I've been sponsored by tons of products. My love for makeup has always had a roadblock because of my allergies and sensitivities. So growing up with eczema on your face, it's not fun, trying to put barrier creams under a product that's just going to fall apart. It's just not fun. So you have this artistic talent that you do on other people and you can't even do it on yourself.
Right. That's frustrating.
Frustrating. And then just as we've all been getting more aware what we eat, what we put on our bodies, what we put in our bodies and products, I started kind of obsessing because where is this itching skin coming from? Where is this burning? Where is this eye issue? So I kind of started obsessing with my makeup as well. I mean, diet and everything else. But when it came to my makeup, I was like, okay, I have a chance here to make a difference. And so Makeup Addict is, I mean, as much as we all love trends, they're just, a lot of times they're not practical. So we wanted to create a brand of staple pieces that you're always going to go back to. Do you know what I mean? So it was just one of those that we wanted something that's safe to use, comfortable to use. I don't like heavy feelings in makeup, and it was comfortable. That was my biggest thing. It had to be comfortable. So that's kind of where that all started.
Yeah, and I think maybe not trend per se, but I think a lot of us are becoming much more conscious about what we put on our face and what we're using. So good to know that there is a clean product that's locally sourced and that we know what's in it. So it's nice. It's nice. I have sensitive skin too. My stepdaughter is dealing with eczema, so it's nice to know there's products out there that we can use and that's not going to cause issues or make our face look cakey and
Exactly.
so starting a business is no small feat, but it's not. But what's the scariest part of taking the plunge into entrepreneurship, and how did you push past it?
I think the biggest part is the unknown. It's the what if this, what if that. You can really get into your head and spiral quickly to not do something. It's easier almost to talk yourself out of something than to just jump in and go for it and see what happens and really stay true to yourself. So it was always the unknown. Let's be honest, I'm not in celebrity status. So it was like, how would I get people to know me and the story and the products? And to be honest, I can't believe how quickly it snowballed. And so that was the biggest thing, was just the unknown.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of support behind you, or
God, thankfully, my mom and my husband have been amazing through this, especially when it came, with the kids. When I started, my kids were still small. I now have teenagers. They're pretty self-sufficient now, but when they were little and, you're trying to get out there, it was so difficult. So without, my mom and my husband being there and always rooting for me, I mean, like we said, starting a business is very hard. Running a business sometimes is even harder. If you're not crying and at least once a month saying, I'm done, I'm shutting it down, like you're just not a business owner.
pretty much, or you're not doing enough work because
If you don't have that support of saying, zip it, dust off, let's keep going, it's very hard to do. So thankfully, I've had all that support. And of course, my customers and the people I've met along the way, the people I've met on social media, it's been such an amazing journey. And I really have everyone there to thank.
that's amazing. And it is really important to have that support system because it's tough. I mean, if you're wearing a million hats as a business owner, and if you don't have that support system, it can be easy to fall apart. So that's awesome. So what were some of the biggest obstacles that you faced in the early days of Makeup Addict? And how did you overcome
So starting out, I mean, for myself and my business, it was the research process, right? So after high school, I was going to pursue a career in chemistry, and then life kind of took a different turn and somehow ended up into makeup. So I had that chemistry background, and I knew I wanted to do something with products and things that we use every day. So the biggest obstacle really was just trying to get like the research behind it, because working with labs, this can become a very expensive process quickly. Finding the right people and getting the right information, you don't want to be in the fear zone. You don't want to be in misinforming. There's a lot of misinformation out there too about cosmetics. So it was just weaning through, and that was a very, very, very long process. I think it took me like almost a year and a half to 2 years before Makeup Addict physically launched, just because of the research process.
I can imagine. I mean, I don't even know where I would start in that type of a process. So that's amazing. But it's definitely it's a long it's a long haul. You're in it for the long haul, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those that I was like, that's it, I'm doing this, because I think for myself, trying to figure out what was reacting on my skin, I was already kind of there.
Hmm.
I knew what I didn't want in a product because I knew it was irritating me. And, later in life, like I noticed even my mom was becoming sensitive to things. So environmental is a huge issue. So all these little things that added up. So I was kind of already there, and then it just kept snowballing and it went in the right direction, thankfully.
Definitely, definitely fantastic. So it's good again that we're bringing light to the importance of using clean products on our skin because we absorb everything and just think about all the chemicals that we're putting into our bodies. So it's nice to know that we have products out there for whether you have sensitive skin or not. So, your brand is really all about like creativity and self-expression. Um, where do you find your inspiration for your products?
I mean, in the makeup world, it's grown. We've seen it explode right before our eyes. So for myself, a lot of the inspiration, believe it or not, was actually to take away. So we wanted to go backwards a bit. So many things come out on the daily, and trends are so big, but at the same time, we also realize that causes a lot of waste. So we wanted something that was a staple piece that you get really good use out of it. And we kind of just wanted to go with the ingredient aspect. I mean, I could hire 100 models and celebrities to endorse it, but I like the genuine part of it. I prefer being the face of the brand because I do personally use it every single day, and it's not another gimmick. So the inspiration was actually to go backwards, not just shove gimmicks and hearsay down customers. It was like, no, we've got something really good here. And, the feedback we've got, it was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, this is great. And so that's where we were kind of headed with that when starting the brand. I just didn't want another trend that's here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, makeup isn't cheap, nor should it be, especially through what you're putting in your body, really. And so it's nice to know that there is a brand, again, out there that has quality. The trends are great, but I look at even in fashion, like I'd rather buy something that's quality that's going to last me seasons or even years rather than something I'm going to wear once and never wear again. So it's the same thing with makeup. And
Exactly.
it's an investment in something that you don't need to worry about. Yeah, it's not going to be on trend next season. Yeah, it's a lasting product. What do you think really sets Makeup Addict apart in such a competitive industry?
Again, like I said, because we don't really worry about trends, we are more of a minimalist, an everyday look. Our customers are not wearing yellow eyeshadow. A lot of them are moms and businesswomen and entrepreneurs. So again, it's the staple pieces that stand. It's one of those things that you come back to when you grab a BB cream, every time this is just works for me. As opposed to today, this was great. Tomorrow, oh, what's this? Let's try that out. And then you're just kind of snowballing on your face where that's when you start causing issues and skin issues. So we like that we have, clean, organic, vegan skincare ingredients, but it's makeup, and that's where a lot of times people are like, this is so different to what I've been using for the last 10 years or the last trend that came out last week,
Yeah. So,
where we set apart from other brands.
so you say that you're vegan. Listeners that don't know what that means, maybe you can explain what does it mean that your product is vegan?
So we're actually vegan, cruelty free, and gluten free. And a lot of people will ask about the gluten free, like, why is it gluten free? I'm not eating it. No, you're not eating it, but you do lick your lips, you do rub your eyes, and it does absorb in your skin. So yes, it does affect people that we've noticed over the years that we've been in business. Now, vegan is more plant-based botanicals, where as opposed to if you have mineral, just think of like vegan plants and like mineral, let's say like rocks and minerals. So we do also have some mineral in our eyeshadows, but talc free, because talc is a really big issue in your makeup. Again, so when I go back to saying vegan, we're using plant-based botanicals that is just easier on your skin, and it's just a bit more sustainably. It's more of a sustainable product.
Wonderful. It's friendly really for anybody. Again, not just for people with sensitive skin, but anybody that falls within those categories that's very sensitive to what they're ingesting. This is a great brand, definitely, all around. Now, we see, especially with small business owners, not with everybody, social media has played a huge part in marketing. How do you think social media has really played a part in your marketing and just you as a small business owner?
I have to say, so social media, it's a bit of a roller coaster. We know that. Trying to figure out algorithms and trending music and all that stuff. But I do have to say, for the brand itself, it's really just given me more of a connection with customers. People like to see, because I am a more mature skin, they see that you can still wear a trendy look. So they like the videos. They like being able to reach out and I connect with them and answer their questions. So social media has been a big part for the actual connection of the brand for people, as opposed to just trying to grow, 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 and hit those algorithms. It wasn't really meant for that. And for marketing and stuff, we use it a bit. It's not, how can I say, it's not the only focus though when it comes to marketing. The way I look at it personally, one day if social media shuts down, what do we do? So I always have other means, and we're always testing out different ways to market and advertise. as opposed to just dealing with social media.
I think that's smart. You can't limit yourself to one medium because exactly it shuts down. And there's been times where, yeah, we haven't been able to use it. And you don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years, where things are going to take us, advertising is going to take us. So I think it's important not to close any doors. And so that's fantastic. And for any entrepreneur out there, I think that's a great tip, is to not close any doors and to be open to, market and advertise your product in many different ways.
Exactly.
But yeah, the one thing I think you really hit it on the nose for me is I like that you're the one giving the tutorials and that you don't have a million influencers out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think it waters down the authenticity of the product. And the fact that you're the one doing it, that you believe in your product, and that you show makeup applications and you're talking about it, I think again really does show the quality of it and that you believe it. You believe in it. You're not just another influencer throwing it out there just to try to, you know, hype
Yeah,
it.
like I said, I mean, now with AI, you can really create anything. So I like being on there because I'm not the most technological person. I mean, I've gotten myself very far over the years, but I'd rather just turn on the camera and put my makeup on, and what you see is what you get. There's no wild backgrounds, there's no effects, there's no smoke and mirrors, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's real. Um, so you've been doing this for quite some time now. Do you have like a favorite story that you want to share with us? An outcome that maybe that happened over the past few years with regards to your brand or just the journey?
I mean, it's been a heck of a journey. I have to say, I've met so many amazing people and heard so many stories, from like happy to just wild. You just meet so many walks of life along the way. One of my favorites, though, because I have a daughter, as do you, and she's dabbling into makeup. And unfortunately, with her allergies, all those things trending on TikTok and whatnot, she can't use. They burn, they've left marks on her skin. And at the end of the day, makeup addict, I'm the guinea pig. If it can't go on me, it's not going on anyone else. So my daughter had gotten this gift, from a big box store, and she was just like, "Mom, I can't do it." And I'm like, "Then don't throw it out. That's it. Like, just it's going in the garbage, or let's try to return it. Like, something's not right." And so finally she was playing with one of my lip balms, and she goes, "No matter what, Mom, it's just, I keep taking back that makeup addict one." It's just her favorite. And she's just a walking little billboard, and I don't tell her to do it. She just does it on her own. And it's just really funny that she's just like that little mini makeup addict walking around.
Well, it's genuine, it's authentic, and so when you see that, you're not paying her, you're not telling her to say it. That's the way she feels, and I think that's the biggest compliment, right?
Yeah, and sitting with her, talking to her, because I mean, this is a kid who's been picked on at school tremendously for her skin. So when she finds something that, oh, I can finally play with this lip gloss and whatever, and she's so proud, it melts my heart. Like, it was like, you know what, this is what it's for. It's, one day she can wear products when she wants to wear makeup. I mean, I don't push it on her, but if she wants to, why not? It's no different to dressing, right? We dress how we express ourselves. If putting some mascara and lip gloss is how you want to express yourself, go for it.
Absolutely. We all want to feel good. If that's what it takes. Like you said before, your products, they're meant to show your natural beauty. They're not, you know, like you said, you're not wearing necessarily yellow mascara or yellow eyeshadow and stuff like that. It's not the
Just putting yourself together to feel good, just like blow drying your hair makes you feel good, you'll do it. So if putting some blush and BB cream and lipstick on is what gets you through your day, yeah, why not?
or just enhancing our natural beauty. So,
Exactly.
yes. Being an entrepreneur, a business owner, you're going to face setbacks. We all have. What is or when was a moment that things really didn't go as planned, but you learned from it. You were able to grow from it.
I think in the beginning, when I was just trying to grow and I chased a trend, And that was one of my big regrets in the business. It was in a very expensive lesson to learn because you this product, what do you do? And so it was one of those. I mean, like I said, once you start a business, that's a headache, but running it is a whole other headache. So it's all a learning experience, every chapter you go through in your business. So when I was chasing this trend, again, it was an expensive mistake. It didn't go as planned. I think I screwed up the formula. I don't remember what happened. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? This is going to shut me down. And so you have to like sit back and collect yourself and be like, okay, that was a dumb mistake. We've learned that. We don't do that again. And you just go back to staying true to yourself. The end of the day, any mistake you make, if you stay true to yourself, it can be fixed. It's once you try to break free, and I'm not saying you have to stay in the box. Every business is different. Some are based on jumping out of the box. But there were certain things that I was just like, I need to go back to being true to myself and never mind these trends. And that was one of my biggest mistakes and a very early lesson that I learned in the business.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Like you said, staying true to yourself. And sometimes you got to go back to the basics, go back to the beginning. And it's never a failure. Starting a business is all about trial and error. That's how you learn, and you see what sticks and what doesn't stick because with everything, things evolve, things change, and you have to be willing to evolve and change. But what's important is that when you do that, you're still sticking to you know, being authentically you, being true to you, being true to the brand that you've built, and not necessarily into perfection. I mean, sometimes that works, and sometimes it could be a massive failure. So you have to be true to
Even with social media, you don't want to be a persona that once you leave your front door, it's always expected and the show is on. That's so demanding and it's not realistic. We're all human. We have good days, bad days. There's days you got to run out of the house and you look like a train wreck. It happens.
yeah,
You don't want people to be so disappointed because they have this expectation of you. So these again, staying true to myself was one of the things that put me back on track.
nice. With that, as an entrepreneur, you wear so many hats, and like you said, sometimes we all look like disasters. Sometimes it's because we're running around, and you have a family, you have a business, and how do you keep it all together? How do you find balance?
To be honest, you do need breaks. I think it's so underrated that people don't realize how you know what, it's not even time consuming, it's just in general how consuming running a business is. I remember a time where people were leaving their 9 to 5 to work in a business, and meanwhile you're working 12 hours a day. So it was like, didn't you leave for more freedom and you're less free now? So taking breaks is a huge step, whether you meditate, whether you sit in the morning and just enjoy a coffee. Unplugging is a big thing for me. I found, a lot of current events online, and you can't help it. You can't even block them. Then once they pop up in your feed, they always do. So these are little things that unplug, take a break, go sit on the porch in the sun for 10 minutes. Sometimes you just need that walk away moment to kind of recollect yourself. That's a huge tip for me to any business and to anybody, even if you're, a stay-at-home mom or working in an office, you need that little walk away moment.
Yeah, yeah, I really important. I love that you said that. You just it's easy to get burnt out and you feel like I can't stop and I need to keep doing, and if there's that guilt factor that if we stop that we're not being productive enough today. um but
In your head, like it just gets in your head, like when you're overtired and overworked and trying to keep up with social media and run your business, and there's so many things at the back end of the business. And a lot of people are like, oh, you haven't posted in a while. Well, I'm doing 800 other things plus my family.
right, I don't think you understand that.
You have to really prioritize. I mean, I tried making the list and this and that. And at the end of the day, for me, what worked is when there's just too much going on, I'm like, guys, work, I got to walk away, walk the dog, take it to the park, walk around the block. You just need that headspace where your phone is off and everything is off and you just got to walk away.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge thing that people feel guilty to do.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. But I think we need to remind ourselves that working nonstop is not necessarily going to make you more productive. If you're brain dead and it's taking you so long to get through a small task, you know, it's time to take a step away, like you said. And even if it's a 5, 10 minute, walk outside or just, you need that mental break and you'll be surprised how much more productive it is when you come back after that trip rather than trying to work.
Like it's not normal because the reason we work so hard is to be with our families. So when you're taking away from the family and then you're overstimulated by trying to get something off the ground, it's very easy to lose your vision here. And you need to remember, like, oh, wait, this is to hang out with my kids. You know what? Today I'm not going to work. I'm going to go hang out with my kids. And I get it. We all have busy lives. The kids now, I mean, like I said, mine are teenagers. They have their own life. But there's still some days where they'll be like, Mom, you want to watch a movie? Yes, I will drop everything. Let's go watch a movie. Sometimes it needs to be done.
Absolutely. It's easy to get so consumed with running a business, especially because, you don't have that steady paycheck coming in. So it's like, if I don't do it, but I don't have money coming in. But with that being said, the point of it is to ultimately have that greater freedom. So you need to find that balance and you need to be able to work smarter, not harder. I think that's always the goal. Work smarter, not harder. We're not here to burn ourselves out, right? Amazing. That's great. Great advice. Advice would you give somebody that is looking to start their own business, that wants to chase their goals, their dreams, and create a better life for themselves?
The biggest thing is only you will hold yourself back. So if it's not happening, you can blame anything you want. At the end of the day, you have to sit and look in the mirror and be like, I'm going to do this, and you're going to make it happen if you really want to. Don't sit there and what if this, what if that, what if this, oh, the economy, this, and my kids have sports. If you're going to start making excuses, put them in a hat, save them for later, and just push forward. Any obstacle, we're gonna we get so many obstacles in life that we don't even realize sometimes. It's not just business. Anything happens at any given moment. So if your heart is really there, go for it, right? Go for it. It's always gonna be an added chapter to your story. So just go for it. Write the chapter.
Exactly, right? Just have to take action. Like you said, write the chapter. Um, write that chapter. Right. Keep pushing forward, right? You don't want to just be stuck on the same page. Keep pushing. Keep moving. All right, before we end things, let's end with a quick rapid fire. So, um, give me one go-to product that you can't live without.
Right now, I gotta say, it's our BB cream. Is like just, I have it right here actually. So this is our BB cream. So this is gonna replace your concealer, your foundation, your tinted moisturizers. This is your one-stop go-to product. You can put it on with your fingers, your sponge. It's really a very hydrating product. It does also have some SPF in it. And you just can put it on, you can set it, you can just put some blush on top and you're good to go. And it evens out your redness, your minor imperfections. This is just one of your one stop shop products. And everybody seems to be raving about this BB cream. So, yeah, that's the one I'd say to start with if you're exploring Makeup Addict.
Nice, nice. So you heard it from her. Heat cream is the one you can't live without. Morning person or night person? Are you a morning person or night person?
I'm a night owl. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of mornings, but I am a night owl. Always have been. I don't know why that is. I think because mornings are just so rush, because again, the priorities are the kids. So nighttime when everyone's, doing their homework or playing a video game or after, and I'm like, oh, now it's me time. So definitely a night owl.
Yeah. One word to describe your.
To describe myself, there's so many. I would probably have to say hard worker. I know that's two words, but nothing really stops me. You know, a lot of people have always asked me over the years, how do you get this done? How do you get that done? And I just remember even in high school, I was just always determined. And being a makeup artist so many years, there's nothing that'll stop me to ever have to have canceled a client. I think I've never canceled in 27 years. So I'm just that loyal hard worker. I think that would best describe me.
And that's why you're successful. You just keep pushing forward and working hard. And, I think that's important. It's another, I think, good piece of advice for any future entrepreneur or small business owner is if you want it, you got to work hard for it, right? Nothing comes easy.
That time and for it to be worth it. Definitely.
What is your dream celebrity collaboration? You have one?
We actually have one coming up, but I can't spill the tea. So we do have one. To be honest, like I said, I'm not very starstruck. I mean, I've worked on celebrities and stuff like that. So I honestly, I can't even think of a celebrity that would want to that I would want to collab. I just like makeup addicts as it is.
Right.
Right? Because we're not all celebrities. We're all, even celebrities, they're regular people. So we just see the regular people, just like me. That's the star of the show for me.
I think that's a great answer, right? We're all celebrities are just regular people anyway. So, and the product is fantastic. It sells itself. So, um, before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to share about Makeup Addict? What's next for Makeup Addict? And where can we find Makeup Addict? Where can we purchase your wonderful products?
So we are on the website, obviously, makeupaddict.ca. We ship all across Canada and the US. Currently, we have 4 locations. So we have one at Revolution Her. They have 2 stores. So one is in Mapleview Mall in Burlington, one is in Oakville. We're in Alliston at Simcoe Makers Boutique, and we are also in I was going to say Eva, May Designs, and that's in Woodbridge at 200 Whitmore. We are trying to do some in-person events this year. We'll see how that goes. And what's next? You're gonna have to wait and see. So follow us on Instagram and check our stories because we've got actually some quite exciting things coming up this year. Especially because, hold on, Makeup Addict, it's our 10-year anniversary this year. Yeah, so this company launched back in 2015. You know, we're staying true to staying Canadian manufactured, and we are coming up to 10 years. We have gotten this far, and I do want to take a minute to thank every single customer that has supported us from day one and new customers that support us now. It means a lot.
You're is going strong and you keep growing. So, congratulations, Laura. Amazing. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today on Live Life Fearlessly and for sharing your fearless journey. And, you just keep on growing. And it's fantastic just to see that, just to see.
Thank you so much, and thank you because you've been part of this journey actually because we go back so many years.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. I know. Who would have thought? But thank you so much for joining me again. It was such a pleasure to hear more about your business and about your journey because I didn't know all of this. So thank you so much, Laura.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you again for tuning into this episode of Live Life Fearlessly. And remember that living fearlessly is about taking risks. It's about embracing challenges and never giving up on your dreams. Keep living your best fearless life. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode and feel free to reach out with your thoughts and experiences. I can't wait to hear from you. Until next time, life is a beautiful journey and it's yours to live fearlessly.